Good morning, students. So this is atomic and molecular physics, atomic and molecular physics, spectroscopy, atomic and molecular spectroscopy, lecture 2. So in previous class I explained Rutherford concept and I introduced Bohr atomic model and some of the postulates of Bohr atomic model. Okay, so today I consider applications of Bohr atomic theory. So these are applications of Bohr atomic model. Bohr atomic model. Okay, so come to Bohr atomic model. Bohr considers some assumptions. What are they? The nucleus of the atom is having infinite mass. So first suppose this is a nucleus. The mass of the nucleus is nothing but Ze. The charge of the nucleus is Ze. Around this nucleus some electrons are revolving. So he considered that he assumed the nucleus is at rest, and the similar way he considered that these nucleus having infinite mass. So the nucleus having infinite mass. Okay, so these are the assumptions Bohr was considered before going to conduct this experiment. Okay, so he assumed that nuclear is at rest and nucleus having infinite mass. So this is the nucleus of the atom. The charge of the nucleus is Ze and this is electron, and he was considered it is a infinite mass. That means the mass of the mass of the nucleus is much greater than mass of the electron. So this is the condition. He was considered this condition to prove this atomic model. Okay. After that, Bohr was considered hydrogen-like atoms. See, he was explained through hydrogen atom and hydrogen-like atoms, because in hydrogen atoms or hydrogen-like atoms, finally they have one electron in this orbital, that fixed orbital having one electron and one proton. So how many number of protons it is not matter, but it contains only one electron in a fixed orbit. So first of all, after that Bohr was calculate some atomic radius as well as velocity of the electron, radius of the electron. These are the characteristics. He was identify these characteristics by using this experiment. Okay, understand everybody? See, this is a nuclear. Right now this nucleus is at rest position. Okay, and the electron, the distance between nucleus and electron is smaller. Okay, so therefore the self rotation or spinning or precision of this electron will gives centripetal force. Okay, so therefore that is called centripetal force gives. This is the centripetal force. That force is equal to mass of this electron is me. Okay, and mass of the electron into velocity of the electron is which direction? This direction is velocity of electron and the distance r. So therefore that is mv square by r. So that is mv square by r. So in the same way, so there is a charge between these nucleus and electron. So this charge is called, according to classical electromagnetic theory, there is a attraction or repulsion force exists between these two charges. So according to that charge is the Coulombic repulsion force or Coulombic force. Okay, so therefore Coulomb force is equal to Ze square by 4 pi epsilon naught r square. Okay, so this is the Coulombic force which exists between this nucleus and electron. So at a particular instant, according to a classical theory, at particular instant these two are must be equal. So in previous class I explained these things. Okay, now I want to derive from using these equations, I derive some characteristics. Okay, so for particular instant, this centripetal force is equal to Coulombic force. Okay, so that is nothing but mv square divided by r is equal to ze square divided by 4 pi epsilon naught r. So from this equation he find that, so r should be cancelled, so therefore mv square is equal to ze square by 4 pi epsilon naught r. So therefore v square is equal to ze square divided by 4 pi epsilon naught m r. So this is the velocity. This velocity of electron will attains by using classical concept. Okay, so now according to the second postulate, what is the second postulate? That second postulate tells about orbital quantization. Quantization of orbital. Okay, so orbital quantization. What is the orbital quantization? That is called angular momentum is conserved. Orbital quantization means angular momentum conserved. Okay, so this concept actually comes from quantum theory. By Bohr's assumption, he was explained on the basis of classical concept and the basis of quantum concept. According to quantum concept, so quantization of orbital is exist inside, so that is nothing but angular momentum is conserved. So angular momentum is a conserved quantity, so therefore angular momentum L is equal to mvr is equal to integral multiples of n pi, integral multiples of h. So it is also represented as nh cut. Okay, where h is a Planck's constant. So therefore from this equation we can write mvr is equal to nh by 2 pi and see v is equal to nh by 2 pi m r. So according to classical quantum, according to quantum mechanics, this is the velocity of the particle. According to classical, this is the velocity of the particle. So right now I prove the radius of the atom and velocity of the atom and energy of this atom by using hydrogen like atoms or hydrogen atoms. Okay, so please note everybody, I'll move to next concept. Okay, now I want to find out radius. See, so first characteristics of Bohr atoms, radius. So I want to find out radius. See, I already in classically I have one equation. So that equation is v square is equal to ze square by 4 pi epsilon naught m r. So this is the equation. This equation I get from classically of hydrogen like atom. See, from this equation I already get another equation that is called v is equal to nh by 2 pi r. So simply substitute that equation into this equation. So write this is the equation 1 and this is the equation 2. So please substitute equation 2 in equation 1. So therefore what is this value? nh n square h square by 4 pi square m square r square is equal to ze square divided by 4 pi epsilon naught m r. So simply cancel r and r, 1m, so 4, 1 pi, 1 pi. Okay, so finally I get I want radius, so this is r term, so just cross multiplying, so r is equal to, see r will be moved here, what will becomes here, see n square h square epsilon naught, okay, n square h square epsilon naught divided by, see pi into, where is m, see this is z square, pi, 1 m is remaining, 1 pi is remaining, 1 m is remaining, and what is this value, z e square, okay. So this is the radius of atom. So this is called radius of atom. This is equation 3. So this is the radius of the atom. So this is nth radius. I'll simply make it is a nth value. So I'm not substituting right now hydrogen some z value or n value something. So that's why we will represent this is r into n. So this is the equation of radius of the atom. Okay. So I want to find out again velocity by using this radius atom. So simply substitute this r value in this equation 2, you will get velocity of that radius of the Bohr atom. See. So this is simply substitute the value, substitute the third equation in equation 2. So what you will get from equation 3, substitute in equation 2, then what velocity v is equal to nh divided by, see, 2 pi m. What is the r value? R value is nothing but n square h square epsilon naught divided by pi m z e square. So simply, okay. So this mm will be cancelled, and 1n, 1n, 1h will be cancelled. So finally this value is v is equal to, so simply it will move outside, upside. See, simply pi will be cancelled. So this is z e square divided by 2 will be there, 2 c n h epsilon naught. So this is your velocity equation. So this is the velocity of atom. So velocity of electron. Okay. So that velocity is z e square into 2 n, understand, z e square by 2 n h epsilon naught. So this is the velocity and this is the radius, right. So next I will explain what is the energy of the atom. Okay. So this is the radius of the atom and this is the velocity of atom. So these two equations will come under classically and quantumly. Those both the theories I will mix it. I will get the radius of hydrogen atom and velocity of hydrogen atom. Now I want to find out energy of the atom. Okay. So from that energy I will remove this equation. So I want to find out energy of Bohr atom. Okay. So energy means Bohr consider nucleus is at to be at rest. Okay. So this nucleus having a charge Z, and there is an electron revolving in a circular path. Okay. And see, at rest position, this is the distance between nucleus and electron. At rest position, if nucleus is assumed to be at rest, means the potential energy P is equal to minus Z E square by 4 pi epsilon naught R. So this is the potential energy at this nucleus. And come to kinetic energy. So kinetic energy Ke is equal to, already I proved that kinetic energy is nothing but half into mv square. So I get all this equation. This is a v square equation. So simply I'll substitute this equation in this above. So therefore this is half into m into what is the v square value? Z e square divided by 4 pi epsilon naught m into r. So m will be cancelled. So m will be cancelled. Okay. So finally the kinetic energy Ke is equal to Z e square divided by 8 pi epsilon naught r. So this is the kinetic energy and this is the potential energy. Then what is the total energy? E is equal to Z e square by kinetic energy plus potential energy, 8 pi epsilon naught r minus Z e square by 4 pi epsilon naught r. So this is the kinetic energy and this is the potential energy. So energy E is equal to minus Z e square divided by 8 pi epsilon naught r. So this is your kinetic energy, but this energy is already indicated by radius. So simply substitute the radius term in this equation, you will get final energy of the atom. So this is, I substitute here. I substitute here. So this is the energy, capital E is equal to minus Z e square divided by 8 pi epsilon naught r. Okay, simply substitute this radius value in the above equation. So therefore E is equal to n square h square simply minus Z e square divided by 8 pi epsilon naught into what is the r value? R is nothing but n square h square divided by h square epsilon naught into pi m Z e square. Okay. So simply this equation E will be written as, see, this pi will be cancelled and remaining anything will be cancelled? No cancel. Okay. So minus Z square e power 4 divided by, see, divided by 8 n square h square epsilon naught. Okay, and see this mz is there, that is called m into m. Understand? So this is your final equation, that is called minus Z e square e power 4 into m divided by 8 epsilon naught. So 8 epsilon naught n square h square. So this is your final energy of the atom. Final energy of the atom. Okay. So this is the concept. This is the concept of radius and velocity and energy. So once again I write the three equations. Once again I write these three equations in a clear way. Then you can understand what I proved from this theory. From Bohr atomic model is application of hydrogen and hydrogen-like atoms. In hydrogen-like atoms, he was first of all using classical concept and quantum concept. They will get, first he was identify radius of, first he was calculate the radius of the atom. Okay, radius of the hydrogen atom. After that he find out the velocity of that hydrogen atom. After that he find out the energy of the hydrogen atom. So these three equations are the examples or applications of Bohr and applications of hydrogen and hydrogen-like atoms. So hydrogen or hydrogen-like atoms, what are the different, what is the basic concept of hydrogen? Why he was considered only hydrogen atoms means, in hydrogen atom they have only one electron and a number of protons. So how many protons are, it is not a matter, only electron. So single electron, and that electron is rotating in a fixed orbit. Those type of electrons are rotating in a fixed orbit. They will create some radius, energy, and as well as velocity. So I will write these three equations in only one shot. So I will write these equations. So please remove. Okay, right. So the first equation he was find out, radius equation. So radius equation. So that radius equation is nothing but r is equal to n square c. This is equation. R n is equal to n square h square epsilon naught divided by pi m z e square. Okay, so this is the radius equation. And next, velocity. So velocity v n is equal to velocity equation for nth state. V n is equal to z e square. See, that is equation, z e square divided by 2nh epsilon naught, 2nh epsilon naught. Okay, so this is the velocity equation. Okay, after that we derive what is the energy of the equation. So the third equation is energy equation. So the third equation is energy equation. So that energy equation is third equation, energy. So that is equal to En is equal to minus Z square e power 4 into m divided by 8 epsilon naught n square h square. Okay, so these are the three equations Bohr was derived: radius, velocity, and energy. So in these three equations, I consider this equation. Okay, so velocity equation. So what is the here the velocity equation? I'll write in terms of alpha. So I will change this equation in terms of alpha. So therefore Vn is equal to Z e square divided by 2nh epsilon. So this is the actual velocity equation. So I'll write these characteristics in terms of alpha. So first of all, for hydrogen like atoms, I will consider for hydrogen like atoms, what is the Z value is 1, and what is the N value for the first state, that is called N is equal to 1. So if you consider for hydrogen like atom, for hydrogen like atoms, for hydrogen like atom, so V for hydrogen like atom means Z is equal to 1 and N is equal to 1. Okay, so simply take this. If V is of 1 is equal to, because nth state is 1, and simply 1 dot E square divided by 2 into H into epsilon naught. Understand? So therefore, for simplicity, I will consider both sides divided by C. So divided by C into C. So here V1 by C is equal to, so E square by 2H epsilon naught C. Okay. So this is the value, V1 by C is equal to E square 2H epsilon naught. So E square into 2H epsilon naught C. So this is nothing but alpha. So this is nothing but alpha, and this is called fine structure constant. So alpha, this is called fine structure constant. Okay, fine structure constant. So simply you will write what is the fine structure constant. Alpha is equal to E square by 2hc. So this is the fine structure constant. Understand? So now I want to change the radius, velocity and energy in terms of this fine structure constant. So that is our aim. So in terms of alpha, I will change this equation. So that is called fine structure of hydrogen like atoms. Okay, fine structure. In terms of fine structure constant, I will express these values Rn, Vn and En. So this is called En equation. Okay. So due to fine structure constant, I will change this equation. See once again, simply I common this value. Once I will get this equation, then it will be right in terms of alpha. Okay. So first of all, I change the radius by using this alpha constant. See, I'll write this equation in next. Okay. So right now I'll change in terms of alpha. So I'll write here this equations in terms of, so in terms of alpha, in terms of alpha. So once again you will write what is V by C, that is called alpha, V1 by C, that is called alpha. Alpha is represented by, now I will write here alpha is equal to, so alpha is equal to E square divided by 2h epsilon naught C. So this is the alpha square value. Or simply I will change this equation in terms of alpha. So for radius equation. So here see E square is down. Okay, so I will convert this equation into alpha. E square is right now E square by 2hc. Okay, so for that purpose I multiply this equation into 2c divided by 2c. Multiply and divided. So if you multiply divided, what will be happen? See, from this equation, if you multiply this equation, okay, so this is nothing but 2 n square h square epsilon naught c divided by 2 epsilon c 2 pi m z, 2 pi mz e square into c. Okay. Now see here, what I am explaining. Okay, so I'll take the common 2h epsilon naught c, 2 I'll take the common 2h epsilon naught c. Okay, I'll take the common from this equation. So remaining is 2h epsilon naught c. Remaining is n square. N square is there, 1h is there, n square h. Okay, so 2h epsilon naught c, I'll common it, n square h will be there, divided by c, divided by e square. I'll write here e square, so this term will be automatically come, divided by, so remaining factor is 2 pi m z e square. Okay, so not e square, c, right. See, what will be happen this equation? See, r is equal to, see, this equation is nothing but alpha, that is called 1 by alpha. So finally in terms of alpha, the radius r represented as n square h divided by n square h divided by 2 pi m z c alpha. So this is your final expression. So this is your final expression. Okay, understand everybody? So this is your radius in terms of alpha, fine structure constant. Radius in terms of fine structure constant. Similarly, you can change velocity, already I'll change. Similarly, you can change energy also. Okay, so energy means how you will change energy. Okay, I'll change the energy equation. See. So this is the energy actually. This is the energy equation. So energy, take the energy once again. Energy E is equal to minus Z square e power 4 m divided by 8 epsilon naught n square h square. Okay, so you will multiply both sides c divided by both sides c square into c square. Okay, so c square into divided by c square. So simply see, take the commons right now, how it will convert it into c. See, here e square is there, I want e square, so therefore you will take e square is common. Okay, and remaining term is minus z square e square m c square. Okay, and take the common here. So I want 2. So 2, 1 h will be common, and c 1 epsilon naught, and c 1 c. Okay, so remaining is, see, right, remaining, what is 8 2 4s are 4, and see epsilon naught I will take it, so n square, 1 h is there. Okay, and finally 1 c is there. Okay, so this is nothing but alpha factor. So E n is equal to minus z square e square m c square alpha divided by 4 n square h c. So not c, okay, c something. Okay, so this is your final expression for energy. Okay. Simply better to take in square notation only, it is possible. Okay, so don't write like this. Simply I consider E is equal to, so this pen was not working properly, I think. See, in E is equal to, take square terms only, because E square is there, e power 4, I will come in e power 4, and finally this is minus z square m c square. Okay, and take the common only 4 h square c. Once again I will write mistake there. So actually this is epsilon naught square, I did it right mistake. This is epsilon naught square. Okay, so epsilon naught square okay, epsilon naught square h square, and take c square also common. So finally this is 2, okay, n square only there. So finally this is what is this, this value is alpha square. So minus z square m c square alpha square divided by 2n square. So this is our energy equation. Okay, so in terms of alpha, in terms of radius, in terms of energy, and similarly take in terms of velocity also. So what is the velocity equation? Velocity is equal to, see in this equation, what is velocity? Velocity is equal to ze square by 2n h epsilon naught. So this is the velocity equation. Okay, so both sides you multiply c divided by c, then you will take common v is equal to, see, simply e square from this equation, and 2 h epsilon naught c you will take common. So therefore remaining terms is Z C divided by, see, 2H epsilon naught C will common, only N. Okay, only N. So this is velocity V is equal to E square divided by H 2H epsilon naught C. This value is alpha. So finally this is equal to ZC by ZC alpha into N. So this is the velocity formula. Okay, so these are the radius in terms of alpha and velocity in terms of alpha and E in terms of alpha. So this is our concept. So Bohr was explained these concepts by using hydrogen atom and hydrogen like atom. So finally he derived a radius of atom, velocity of atom and energy of atom, and finally he was introduced a new concept like fine structure constant. So this fine structure constant is nothing but alpha, and again this equation, equations, what are the equations? Radius and velocity and energy. These equations will be again converted into in terms of alpha. So in terms of alpha you will get radius equation, this is in terms of alpha, this is called velocity equation, in terms of alpha this is energy equations. So using these equations are all derived from Bohr by using hydrogen like atoms. Okay, right. So thank you very much. In the next session I continue with my lecture 3. Thank you very much.